Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And Democrat elected officials, when are you ever going to get it? You are the ones that are throwing the match on the gasoline with these nuts throughout America. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us live this hour, starting right now, 800-848-9222. By now, you've heard this armed loon set off an incendiary device outside the federal headquarters, 26 Federal Plaza in Manhattan, as the Terrorism Task Force is investigating this apparent anti-ICE attack. And so what it looked like, you see the man, the video I've seen, he's pouring liquid. It looks like it's gasoline. I'm not sure. The authorities have not ruled one way or the other yet. And then it looks like he lights a match to it. His sneaker is on fire, but quickly goes out as he runs away. And federal authorities quickly arrest him. 800-848-9222. President Trump, thank you, Mr. President, vowing Netanyahu will not be arrested. President Trump shooting down Mamdani's threat to apprehend the Israeli prime minister when the UN is here in New York in September for its General Assembly. Mamdani, who do you think you are? 800-848-9222. Let's start with the incendiary device, and this is part of a report from CNN.
Sources are telling us that this building behind me, 26 Federal Plaza, went into a shelter-in-place situation when this happened at about 8:30 this morning. I'm going to get out of the way so we can zoom in. You can see the investigation that's still ongoing here outside of 26 Federal Plaza. This is a building that houses immigration. It houses a bunch of other offices, including the FBI New York field office. Now, what we've learned from sources is that this person who is now in custody came up to this area where you're seeing these investigators and threw some sort of incendiary device where it just really created a plume of smoke that you can see in some video that we have. Investigators are rushing to him to arrest this person. Again, that person is in custody, and we've also just learned from sources that that person had on them pamphlets or some sort of materials with anti-ICE sentiment written on them. So we're working to get a little bit more detail about sort of the motive behind all of this, but certainly this is something that's going to come out in the investigation. We know that the Joint Terrorism Task Force is the one leading this investigation. We've also just learned, Gloria Pezmino learning that there are three civilians who are walking in this busy area of New York City that were injured in this as well. So no major injuries, but three people with minor injuries. And of course, this could have been a lot worse if this arrest didn't happen right away, which it did. And also, of course, if this device caused an even bigger explosion. Of course, there's so many things that could have happened. But good news is this person is in custody. Investigation is well underway, and we'll continue to get more information for you all.
And so Mamdani has issued a statement on what occurred, and we're about to start with your telephone calls in just a few minutes. We're going to begin with Donna in Philadelphia in a moment. But Mamdani, rightfully so, issuing a statement. But how dare you at the same time, because you're just as guilty as the Democrats are, the Democrats that literally are throwing the match onto the gasoline with these nuts throughout America that hate ICE. And Mamdani, you are the leader of the pack. You are at the top in terms of the daily things that you do, insulting people, insulting the Jewish community, threatening to arrest Mamdani. Who elected you Emperor of America? Who do you think you are? Now, of course, folks, it was all smoke and mirrors. Oh, I'm going to have my law department look into it, right? Okay, he does, right? Do you think that's free? Those lawyers on staff, it's costing us thousands of dollars to play Mamdani's political games. And he knows darn well that under no circumstances will a mayor be able to supersede the president of the United States and arrest a world leader. Who do you think you are? You have been a citizen of America, Mamdani, for what, 8 years, give or take? He grew up here, went to Bronx High School of Science. But who do you think you are? Why not show some gratitude for this country making you a citizen? Rather than doing, or at least your status where you can stay here, rather than doing what you're doing, show some gratitude. How about that? 800-848-9222. Mom Donnie put out a tweet that says what occurred outside 26 Federal Plaza this morning was deeply disturbing. I'm relieved no one was seriously injured and that a suspect is in custody. My team is in touch with the NYPD and we will support the federal investigation. Our administration will continue to ensure that every New Yorker is safe in their city and hold accountable any who threaten it. Tom Holman, the border czar, says thanks, but no thanks. It's a minute too late, Mom Donnie.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the comments from Mandami and Jeffries, but too little too late. They spent a year attacking ICE, comparing ICE. So let's abolish ICE because they're fascists. ICE are Nazis. ICE are racist. ICE is a secret police. ICE isn't a real law enforcement agency. Fail to comply with ICE. I see the signs every protest resist. So look, they have educated people that they can resist ICE, and the hateful rhetoric continues, which we've had some tragedies recently because people didn't want to comply with ICE. So this is yet another example today. What happened in front of the federal building is another example of attacking ICE. And I'm sure if you ask that person why he did it, he can repeat the talking points I just said that you hear from Democratic members of Congress, the Democratic mayors and governors who simply want ICE to go away.
And as far as Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, Netanyahu says, I don't think so, Mom Donnie.
Prime Minister Netanyahu belongs in The Hague. He's a war criminal who has been charged by the International Criminal Court. Whatever the law allows me to do in New York City, that's what we will do, but we won't be writing our own laws to that end.
But Bibi is pushing back, writing on X, quote, Mr. Mamdani should focus on fixing the damage his policies have caused New York. Mamdani appears interested in diverting public attention from his follies and attacking the leader of the Jewish state and the only democracy in the Middle East.
And so the latter voice, Fox News. What does Mamdani do today? Mr. I'm glad that an arrest was made at 26 Federal Plaza. He doubles down on arresting Netanyahu. This comment you're about to hear is from today.
When it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu, we're speaking about someone who's the subject of an International Criminal Court arrest warrant. And he's the subject of this arrest warrant for alleged crimes against humanity, for war crimes, and he's the architect of the genocide against Palestinians in Gaza as Israel's prime minister. These are not facts of my personal assessment. They are facts of public record. And I believe that when someone is charged with an International Criminal Court warrant, it's something that should be taken seriously, whether it's Benjamin Netanyahu or it's Vladimir Putin or whomever else. What I've also made clear is that my administration will follow all applicable local laws. That is our commitment. That is something that we will follow through on when it comes to an adherence to local law. And that's all I have to add on that.
I don't say this lightly, and it's taken me a while to get here to this. Mamdani needs to be thrown out of the country. This man is a poison. I have had it with these socialist nuts and their agendas. President Trump, and we're about to begin with your calls, President Trump putting on social media, Netanyahu will not be arrested in any way, shape, or form while in the United States of America. He is fighting against the Islamic Republic of Iran, which recently killed 52,000 innocent protesters and has spent the last 47 years killing American soldiers and others. The only ones that should be arrested are the people that led Iran into this unprecedented, and the president capitalizes this spiral of death and destruction, something that should have been dealt with years ago by previous presidents. And that's from President Trump. Let's start with your telephone calls. Donna, line 2 in Philadelphia. Donna, what's on your mind?
Wow, Dominic, that was quite an opening today. But, you know, this mayor, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's dumb, but he's not that dumb. And I want you to tell me where I'm wrong. He is spending so much time as the mayor driving out corporations, businesses, landlords, and citizens, and he's losing billions of dollars in taxes for the city. And as a result, there's going to be a lot more dependent people on his stupid philosophy. And because New York City is too big to fail, the state is going to end up bailing him out. And Hochul's going to keep him there. And you know, she doesn't know what to do with him, but she knows what she really should do to him. But that's what's going to happen. It's not just he is not just a New York City issue. He's making himself a state issue that's going to bail him out for years to come.
Well, Donna, if you were wrong on any of your points, I would have pointed them out. You're accurate on each and every one of them. New York City is going to run out of money. The state's going to be forced to bail out New York City. And the fact of the matter is, for lack of a better term, Governor Hochul is in bed with the devil in terms of Whit Mamdani. And she's stuck with him. Because if she dare stands up to him, she's guaranteed to lose her election. She still may not win her election. The only hope would be electing Bruce Blakeman, the Republican candidate that will put Mamdani in his place. Somebody has got to stop him. I'm not wishing any harm on the mayor of New York or his evil-eyed wife. I'm not wishing any harm on them, the mommy or the daddy. But this cannot be. Instead of him showing gratitude for being made, that he could be here as a U.S. citizen, a naturalized citizen, he's giving us his backside to kiss each and every day. Donna, you were not correct. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Artie, line 3 in Florida. Artie, what's on your mind?
Hey, I just want to say I'm a New York exile myself from Long Island, and everything that I see disgusts me because in Florida, they do not put up with this. And I love listening to you every day, Dominic, and I live in Key Largo. And I have to say, for your diet, I would go with the Mediterranean diet and fresh fish as much as possible.
Okay, well, we're not really dealing with diets right now, but Artie, thank you for the support and thank you for the call. We're dealing with a serious topic right now, and that is a cancer that is upon New York City, and that is the mayor of New York City and his hateful ways, all done with a smile. How dare you threaten after you're elected to have Netanyahu arrested, knowing darn well all you're doing is giving the fool supporters of yours fresh meat because you can't do anything as far as arresting Netanyahu. I wish you could, just to see President Trump squash you for the bug that you are, Mamdani. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I think we're always open to diplomacy. It has to be real. It has to be a deal that they're willing to live by. Look, Iran a week ago was supposed to put out a statement saying that the Straits of Hormuz would be open, that they would no longer attack shipping. And instead of doing that, they attacked 3 ships. I think that was last Friday or Saturday. So, I mean, their behavior has to change in order for ours to change.
And, of course, that is Secretary of State Marco Rubio discussing the situation in Iran. 3 soldiers, American soldiers, killed since Friday. So as it relates to this nut job, the leftist who set off the incendiary device outside the ICE field office at 26 Federal Plaza in Manhattan, this individual has a history of anti-ICE activity as per several media outlets. Democrat elected officials, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves because you are taking the match and literally placing it on the gasoline with these nuts throughout America. That's from Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, to Mamdani in New York, to Democrat elected officials. When you go around attacking ICE, attacking feds, this is what happens. You're sending a message to the nuts of America. Let's go to Gomez, line 5 in Pennsylvania. What's on your mind, Gomez?
Thank you, Dominic. Yes, I lived in Buffalo, New York and California, Solomon and Gomorrah. and that probably was a migrant illegal. You got about 2 million illegals in California.
Well, okay, wait, Gomez. I have no idea what you're talking about. You talked about Buffalo. What are you trying to tell me? I don't understand what you're saying.
I said I came from Buffalo, New York.
So you're trying to say you're from... Wait a minute. You're trying to say you're from New York? I don't know what you're talking about.
Buffalo, New York.
Okay, what does Buffalo have to do with New York City?
I'm saying I'm the New York City.
Okay, well, you can get to your point. We don't need to know where you're from. Get to the point.
Was that a migrant illegal that did the terrorist act in New York City?
Which terrorist act are you referring to?
Terrorist act.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you for the call. Let's go here to Joe, line 4 in Lynbrook. What's on your mind, Joe?
Hey, Dom. Doesn't this mayor realize that he can't touch Netanyahu because the U.S. is not part of the Rome statute?
No. Well, the U.S. is not. The U.S. does not acknowledge this court and sees this court as a joke. And Mamdani has to know that. He's just giving red meat to his base that doesn't know anything. The same people that voted for him and got us in this mess and set up this race where I'm not going to even get into that. You already know how I feel. Mamdani knows he can't touch Netanyahu. He's pleasing the base. But what's horrible is what happened at 26 Federal Plaza. There's a cause and a reaction for everything. And Mamdani is setting the stage for these nuts to carry out these activities as to what they're doing. Go right ahead, Joe.
Absolutely. And getting back to the thing, I mean, I don't know what New York voters voted for, but they're all cheering that he can lock up Netanyahu.
But he can't lock up Netanyahu. I would love to see. First of all, do you think the State Department armed personnel is going to move aside and let NYPD arrest Netanyahu? It's not going to happen. Thank you for the call. Number 2, I'd love to see him do something despicable like that, to see President Trump squash Mamdani. It's coming to that. It's going to have to happen. Mr. President, please, this man must be put in his place and taught that he is not the king of New York, contrary to what Mamdani may actually think. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Unbelievable. We'll get to the situation as it relates to what happened at 26 Federal Plaza. But over the weekend, the news breaking of Mamdani sitting down with the New York Times, and he's not talking about the issues impacting the city where he is the mayor of. He is instead inserting himself onto the world stage. Mamdani, who do you think you are? This man, and I don't say this lightly, needs to be deported. He is a cancer on the American people. Him and his socialist nut buddies, male or female. Get rid of all of them. They're all losers. If we're going to be honest about this, every single one of these socialist nuts, Bernie Sanders on down, but at least Bernie Sanders knows how to play the game. Bernie Sanders goes in and out of reality, right? Bernie Sanders lives the good life at all times. You know what I'm saying? But he goes in and out of reality. These nuts like Mamdani, you love Uganda? Go back to Uganda with your armed personnel to protect you, rich boy with the silver spoon in your mouth, failed rapper. You're not needed here in New York. In fact, you're not wanted here in New York. This is Mamdani on Netanyahu.
I believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu belongs in The Hague. He's a war criminal who has been charged by the International Criminal Court. And what you will find is that is an opinion that is held by many purely because of what his actions have wrought over these last many years. I've also said that I will follow the laws that we have here in New York City because I believe that there's an importance in following the law as a leader who presides over our city, and that's something that I plan to do.
Meaning? I'm sorry, I don't understand what that means.
Meaning that whatever the law allows me to do in New York City, that's what we will do, but we won't be writing our own laws to that end.
So in other words, there's the double talk. He's acknowledging that he can't touch Mamdani, but he just wants to get everybody all upset and talk. Mamdani acknowledging that he can't touch Netanyahu, but he wants to get everybody all upset. You little local mayor, and you want to insert yourself on a national stage, and you've been here technically, legally, for 8 years. Who do you think you are? Even though you went to school here, Mamdani, who do you think you are? You're the mayor of New York, no more, no less. Why don't you focus on the baby that was shot in the stroller and killed in Brooklyn? Remember that, Mamdani? Why don't you focus on the 2 synagogues where people put human feces on them these last couple of days? Huh? I don't hear you talking about that, Mamdani. Oh, you want your friends to be able to pray in the middle of Times Square and outside Jewish schools. Why don't you condemn that, Mamdani? You know who's got Mamdani's card? Florida Congressman Randy Fine. Putting in perspective all the things Mamdani has been trying to do the last couple of weeks.
This is not a real American. This is a guy who came to our country from Uganda supporting Islamic terror, did not disclose it when he turned in his paperwork to become a citizen 5 minutes ago. And again, is one of these people who wanders around saying he's just as an American as you and me. No, he came to hurt this country. And so you can see it. He hates Little Italy. He hates the people who made America what it is. He wants to celebrate all the illegals who are here in this country because, again, people like him do not believe in the idea of Americans. And why does he want to meet at the UN on quote unquote international territory with Iran? Because he wants to work with Iran to hurt the United States. The guy is a clear and present danger to the United States. He should be denaturalized for having lied in his paperwork to become an American, and he should be shipped home to Uganda where he belongs.
Okay, so Congressman, that's the term, denaturalized. I cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase. That's what I do. Get rid of him. Nothing physically. Show him the door outside of America. Let's see if he still has all that mouth then against Israel. The truth is Mamdani has never belonged here. But he had the help of a certain candidate in the mayor's race who's now silent, who says de nada, has nothing to say bad about, and I'm not going to get on a tirade. You already know 7%. I told you 7% was why we're stuck dealing with this. And you notice as people are approaching 7% in the street, he says de nada, nothing, because he has shame all over his face. Not going to make this about 7% today. The incident that occurred at 26 Federal Plaza, this is part of CNN's coverage.
For someone to explain to you here on the scene, we're actually watching as investigators are going through that cart that you just described that he allegedly pulled up here to this federal building where sources tell us 2 rifles were inside. We actually just saw investigators pulling out some sort of sheet material with some large either painting or writing on it. And as you can see, they're kind of going through that cart as of now. What we learned from sources is that this person, who again is in custody at the moment, pulled up with this car, had 2 rifles in it, had a bunch of fireworks, and used somewhat of like a pellet gun to keep people away as he tried to light these fireworks, according to sources, and then threw this incendiary device at the building, 26 Federal Plaza, that houses ICE, houses other federal agencies, and also the New York FBI headquarters. We also know in that car, we're learning from sources, there were some sort of posters or writings about anti-ICE material. Right now, investigators are going through the criminal background of this individual who is in police custody, trying to figure out if he's had any sort of associations with police in the past. Is there some sort of checking the mental wellness of this person? These are all questions that they're continuing to ask.
He's a nut job. And thank you very much, Democrats. You're telling nut jobs like this all across America, you and Mamdani, your emperor, that it's okay to do things like this, to attack ICE. 800-848-9222. And the feds. Let's go to Wendy, line 4 on Long Island. Wendy, what's on your mind?
Hey there. Amen to what you said about having him denaturalized and sent back to Uganda. It's a beautiful day outside. I hope you get to go out today. What I wanted to comment on was how Mamdani is doing exactly what the other Democrat leaderships do when they were calling Trump Hitler, and then the crazies would try to attack him because, after all, if someone's Hitler, then they have to, wipe you out. So he's calling Netanyahu, what is it, a genocidal maniac or whatever it was that he said. So, of course, if you think somebody should be arrested and sent to The Hague, then why wouldn't any of his crazies want to come out and arrest him or try to kill him?
Right. I hear you, Wendy. I strongly advise when Netanyahu is here that none of these nuts try that, because you will receive a can of Acrite from the State Department armed personnel. They don't play. And if you go anywhere near Netanyahu, notice I'm talking about the Americans. I didn't even get to the Israeli protection detail. Those folks don't play, that are assigned to protect the prime minister, that will travel with the prime minister. Mamdani is all talk, all nonsense. Thank you for the call, Wendy. Let's go to Stu in Brooklyn. Now, I know you're not defending this clown, Stu, line 5. Please tell me you're not defending Mamdani, are you?
Dominic, if he was within my grasp, I'd choke the living crap out of him. But
Okay.
that's not the point. The
Okay.
beauty of where he's living is called the Constitution of the United States, where the brilliant people who gave it to us created a First Amendment. And I'd be very curious to know from an expert how far that protects what he is saying, number one. And number two, he can't touch Netanyahu without probable cause, Fourth Amendment. So we are...
Well, his probable cause would be the International Criminal Court, which has a warrant for the prime minister's arrest. But the problem with that is America does not acknowledge the International Criminal Court. So in other words, it's a waste of time.
The main thing is freedom of speech. The framers realize exactly this type of situation. As much as you hate this SOB,
No, I don't even. Hey, Stu, I hear you. I don't even think it's freedom of speech. Here's what I think. Straight up, no chaser. Denaturalize Mamdani, show him the door, and take his evil wife with him. And if mommy and daddy want to go, daddy, you love these terrorist sympathizers so much, go be with them. You can have coffee with them every day. You don't have to stay here in America. You don't have to do that. Let's go to Pamela in New Jersey, line 2. What's on your mind, Pamela?
Mayor Mamdani wants to play president and focus on an international character. How about he focus on Fauci? I'm sure the International Criminal Court can override the pardon and deal with his situation and crime.
But Mamdani doesn't have any issues with Fauci.
Right. He should. If he wants to focus on
that's
somebody,
open to interpretation, Pamela. I mean, he doesn't have any. Why would he focus on something that's not even on his radar screen?
I'm just saying, since he's in international business all the time and playing president.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Umberto, line 3, Newark, New Jersey. What's on your mind, young man?
Hey, how you going? Best show, and I want to ask you a question. I'm very concerned 2028 president. Yeah, I believe I don't want JD because his wife. I believe
because of his wife. Wait a minute. Whoa. You're on thin ground. Now, when you say because of his wife, please be very careful what comes out of your mouth next.
No, I don't want to say nothing wrong, but...
Okay, so what concern do you have with his wife?
I believe he's going to be a beta male. He's going to be... His wife going to tell everything what to do. He's saying Bush.
Where are you getting this from? Wait, what makes you think that his wife is going to tell him everything what to do?
You look a beta male. You don't look strong.
Meet Mr. Click. Stop wasting my time. Mike in Virginia, line 1. What's on your mind, Mike?
Thanks, Dominic. Wow, what a call. He's in the twilight zone. You know, you were talking about, Mandami. Here's my deal. I echo what you say, Dominic. Go back to Uganda, okay? And you are a devil, far-left socialist, and you got your mantra, okay? And go into the blue room, take your slippers off, and play the music, and go through your BS. And there's so many, like him, cropping up around the country. Muslim and, cells, demonic cells, and what we hear it every day. It's outrageous, man. And to think this Mandami, I'm glad you said it, Dominic. I read this morning that he wanted to, get Netanyahu and arrest him. Give it a break, Mandami. Let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Okay,
Mike. Thank you for the call here. I don't know, folks. I mean, why couldn't Mamdani just have a nice weekend? And this time, I don't know when he actually did that New York Times interview, but why is that necessary? Why do you have to poke the bear each and every chance you get? Why do you have to do this, Mamdani? Do you hate America this much? I mean, you showed some signs, but you didn't show your true colors during the campaign. So why didn't you show this side during the campaign? You know why you didn't show it? Because you're an absolute phony. Greg, line 2, Staten Island. What's going on, Greg?
Hi, Don. It's a pleasure. I think you're great. But I'm blaming you and why the city's a mess.
You have my attention? Hello? I'm listening. Go ahead, sir. I'm up against a break in a few seconds.
You were thinking about running for mayor. We need you for mayor. You could win.
Hey, Greg, I really appreciate the call. I got to take a break in 20 seconds. New York is not ready for me. It's not ready. New York is not ready for a guy like me. Because one, I'm going to put the black community in deep check. That's number one. All these kids running around acting a fool, it wouldn't happen under a Mayor Carter. I would pull all the black leaders together and say, either you deal with them or I deal with them. And if I got to deal with them, it's going to be a problem. It would be the same thing with the Latino community. This would be a city of law and order. And I'm sorry, as far as the homeless, you're getting off my streets. And you're getting out of my subway system. And yes, you can sue me in federal court, and I'll have my lawyers stall, and they'll threaten to lock up the mayor, and then it'll get resolved at the 11th hour, but you will not be on the streets, and you will not be on the subway. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. I'm punting just like an NFL punter so that we can have more time for your calls. Line 1, Liz in Florida. Liz, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I'm actually in Utah. But I wanted to say that I hope that Mamdani tries with all his heart to arrest Bibi, because if he does, then we can, arrest him. That will be the start of something great.
To arrest Mamdani?
Yeah, because it's illegal. He can't. It's an illegal act. He could let him try.
Right. I mean, the whole thing, Liz, is crazy. I mean, the Jewish community in New York is under attack, and he wants to arrest an international world figure when he's a local figure who's just the mayor of New York City.
He's anti-Jewish, he's anti-American, he's anti-Christian, he's anti-anyone that's not a Muslim, that's his mentality, and we all know this. So let him try. I really do. I hope he does, because then he can be arrested. And then they can try to find more things on him.
So Liz, help me here. You're pretty good at forecasting the future. President Trump has already made a red line that Netanyahu will not be arrested. If Mamdani tried it, what do you think President Trump would do?
Whatever power he can do, like I said, he can be arrested. He can be put away. Maybe he could have him leave the country, before he has a kid in this country. You have to think about that too. We don't want him to have a kid in the United States. Right.
Right. Hey, Liz, thank you for the wonderful call as always. I still don't know why you're in Utah. What's in Utah?
A vacation. I'm in Park City. It is so magnificent here. It's absolutely gorgeous. The weather is perfect. There are no bear, but there are moose. So
see, there you go with the bears. See, I didn't mention it, Liz. I didn't mention it. There you go with the bears. I don't want to talk about the black bears that keep coming to my residence. I don't want to do it. But Liz, you said you're on vacation in Utah. I've been there 2 or 3 times. I hope you enjoy it and have fun. And we'll see you when we see you when you get back. But I would love to see Mamdani try to arrest Netanyahu. President Trump would squash Mamdani for the bug that he is, right? And then give him a piece of ham, Mr. President. Or how about a big pork chop to go with it, right? Since you like praying your people, Mamdani, not you, like praying in front of Jewish high schools with girls inside on outdoor with your mats. Let's see you try and arrest Netanyahu, and then let's see how President Trump deals with you. Good luck with that. Maddie, line 4, West Hempstead. What's on your mind, Maddie?
Well, it's a pleasure once again to speak with you, Mr. Carter. And what's on my mind is that what he's doing is he's trying to incite the people, and he's giving them plenty of time because Netanyahu is not coming for a while. And I think that he's just looking to incite his people to create riots and cause havoc. And what that Florida senator said was spot on.
Right. Thank you, Maddie, for the wonderful call. Let's go to Catherine, line 1, Manhattan. Catherine, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Dominic. I'm so happy to talk to you, and I'm going to make this quick.
Okay.
This issue with Netanyahu coming to New York City is a little bit of an old issue. I know his lawyer actually is Alan Dershowitz, and Dershowitz has said many times that if the mayor of New York City wants to get Netanyahu arrested, Dershowitz will be there. I just wanted to mention that. I'm sorry.
But Mamdani talked about it the last couple of days. That's what made it new. I'm sorry, Catherine, and all the other callers. I'm out of time. America's heroes need your help now. Do good in their honor by donating $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. I'm back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?